Have you ever felt completely alone, abandoned by those who once swore to stand beside you? You cried out for help, but the only response was silence. People saw your pain, but chose to look away. They witnessed your struggles, but remained distant, too afraid or too comfortable to step in. They knew the truth, but refused to acknowledge it. The very ones who promised loyalty vanished when you needed them most, retreating into the shadows, leaving you to navigate the storm on your own. And yet, here you are, still standing, not because of them, but in spite of them. You survived not because anyone lifted you up, but because the fire within you refused to be extinguished. Your victory belongs solely to you, earned through resilience, shaped in solitude, and polished by the very tears they ignored. This isn't just about overcoming hardship. It's about the person you have become because of it. The silence of others did not break you. It gave you space to write your own story. When God decides to elevate you, everything changes. First, He isolates you, not to harm you, but to protect you. The loneliness you felt was never abandonment. It was divine separation, clearing your path from those who would drain your energy, dilute your purpose, or limit your growth. Those who left were not meant to stay. Their absence was necessary for your transformation. Second, He removes every crutch you once leaned on so you learn to depend on Him alone. The human support system you relied on dissolved, not by coincidence, but by design. In your darkest moments, when no one reached out, you discovered an unshakable strength within, a wisdom beyond human understanding. Third, He reveals your true identity, one that exists beyond others' opinions and limitations. You were never chosen for ease. You were chosen for purpose. You were not called for comfort. You were called for transformation. And now, as you step into this new version of yourself, you may notice how people respond differently. They avert their gaze, shift their tone, or find excuses to distance themselves. It's not because you've changed for the worse. It's because they can no longer recognize you. There is an authority upon you now, a strength that unsettles those who remain weak by choice. Your growth exposes their stagnation, and your resilience serves as a mirror, reflecting their compromises. But their discomfort is not your burden. Their intimidation is not your failure. It is confirmation of your elevation. The betrayal you experienced was not random. It was calculated, premeditated, and deliberate. The very people who smiled in your presence were plotting your downfall behind closed doors. The hands that once helped you were the same hands setting traps in your path. Some went so far as to invest real effort, even money, to sabotage you. Why? Because your authenticity made their deception harder to maintain. Your light made their shadows impossible to ignore. Your truth made their illusions crumble. But what they failed to realize is this: nothing divinely ordained can be stopped by human hands. Every obstacle they placed before you has become a stepping stone, elevating you to heights you wouldn't have reached on level ground. Their resistance only strengthened you. Their rejection only refined you. Let them continue their schemes. Let them celebrate their temporary victories. None of it will succeed. The universal law remains unshaken. What they have sown, they will reap. No weapon formed against you will prosper. Few people truly understand what you have endured. They saw surface-level struggles, but they had no idea about the depth of the opposition working against you. This wasn't just an ordinary battle. It was a systematic effort to suppress your voice, dim your light, and delay your destiny. Your intuition was never paranoia. What you sensed was real. There were forces operating against you, whispering in hidden places, conspiring to keep you from rising. But no human plan can override divine protection. The same power that created the universe is now shielding you. This season of struggle is coming to an end. The winds are shifting, and the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable are now the foundation of your testimony. The trials that nearly broke you are about to serve as proof of your resilience. What once felt like an impossible storm is revealing a clear path forward. The fire that threatened to consume you was never meant to destroy you, it was meant to purify you. The pain you endured was not for nothing. It was preparation for something greater. And now, you face one final test: forgiveness. Not because your betrayers deserve it, not because their actions were justifiable, not even because forgiveness will change them. You must forgive because unforgiveness is a chain that binds you to those who harmed you. Holding on to bitterness keeps you tethered to their energy, weighed down by the very pain you are meant to rise above. Forgiveness is not about erasing what happened. It is about setting yourself free. It does not excuse their actions, but it removes their power over your emotions. This is not weakness. It is the ultimate act of spiritual strength. By forgiving, you cut the invisible cords that keep you connected to past wounds. And here is the divine promise that makes forgiveness possible. What was taken from you will be restored. What was stolen will be returned, not just in equal measure, but multiplied. The universe keeps perfect records. Every tear, every sacrifice, every injustice has been accounted for, and the balance is about to shift in your favor. The dreams you once surrendered, the opportunities that slipped through your fingers, they are not lost. They have been preserved for you in greater form. Every painful experience, every lonely night, every moment of despair has been shaping you for what is to come. You are not just surviving, you are thriving. The same world that watched you suffer will soon watch you rise. The very people who doubted you, betrayed you, or turned away will be spectators to your transformation. Your journey was never meant to be easy, but it was always meant to be victorious. You are walking into a future even your enemies cannot deny. Stand tall, because the best is yet to come. Everything you lost, relationships, property, your home, your reputation, is being restored. But this restoration will not simply be a return to what was taken. God is not just replacing what was lost. He is elevating and transforming it. What is coming is not based on your past desires, but on your true purpose. That door that closed unexpectedly, leaving you feeling rejected, was actually divine protection. The painful redirection that felt like failure was in fact God's navigation towards something better. Some relationships could not withstand the weight of your destiny and were never meant to last. Your home, your place of belonging, and everything that made you feel secure will return in a way that makes it unmistakably clear that divine intervention is at work. What you thought was permanently lost has been held in sacred trust, accumulating value over time. The return on your suffering, your faithfulness, and your endurance is about to become visible, and its worth will be far greater than the pain you endured. Can you sense it? Your name is being spoken in rooms you have never entered. Your work is being discussed at tables where you have not yet sat. Recognition is coming, not because you chased it, but because light naturally attracts attention. The exposure and opportunity that eluded you before are now finding you. New York plays a significant role in what is unfolding, whether it is a connection, an opportunity, a platform, or a key individual. Something tied to this city will be pivotal in your journey from obscurity to influence. Pay attention to this sign, prepare for what is ahead, and trust that the groundwork is already being laid. The forces at work behind the scenes are moving in your favor. While you were fighting battles alone, someone was fighting for you in secret. A person with influence has seen your value and has been quietly opening doors on your behalf. They have recognized what others overlooked and believed in you when others doubted. Soon, what was done privately to support you will become a public endorsement, revealing that you were never truly alone. At the same time, those who worked against you, those who manipulated, lied, and betrayed, are beginning to be exposed. The masks are slipping. Every false accusation, every deceitful scheme, and every hidden agenda is coming to light. But you do not need to seek revenge. Truth operates on its own divine timing. As you continue to rise, their deception will become clear to all. This is not about personal vindication, but about divine validation. You were never forgotten, never abandoned. The recognition and favor finding you now were always meant for you. The timing simply had to be right. Look at yourself now. You are not the same person who entered this storm. The difficulties you faced did not just change your circumstances. They transformed you. You have moved beyond survival. You are stepping into significance. You are no longer wounded. You are becoming a warrior. Your resilience has become your greatest asset. The people who doubted you, who assumed you would crumble under pressure, now watch in amazement. They prepared for your downfall, but never expected your rise. They anticipated your surrender, but never imagined your comeback. Your ability to stand alone has become your greatest strength. In a world where many crave validation, your independence is revolutionary. In a culture that prioritizes appearances, your authenticity is powerful. In an environment where superficiality is celebrated, your depth is a challenge to the status quo. This is why some are intimidated by your presence. They witnessed your suffering but never expected your transformation. They thought the fire would destroy you, not realizing it was refining you. Yet, this transformation is only the beginning. You are standing at the threshold of even greater expansion. What you endured was not the end of your story. It was preparation for the next level of your calling. But with new blessings come new responsibilities. It is time to set boundaries. Certain people and influences that were once part of your life cannot continue with you. If necessary, change your phone number, cut off toxic connections, and create space for what is truly meant for you. Protect your energy as if it were priceless, because it is. Be mindful of what you allow into your spirit and your environment. Your thoughts are not just reactions to your circumstances. They are the architects of your reality. Choose them with intention. Spiritual protection is just as important as practical wisdom. Psalm 91 is not just a scripture. It is a shield. Recite it. Meditate on it. Let its truth surround you. There is divine power in prayer. And as you step into greater influence, your spiritual defenses must be stronger than ever. Surround yourself with truth, with light, and with unwavering faith. Spend time in nature, for creation itself carries healing energy. Walk barefoot on the earth. Sit beneath trees and allow the steady wisdom of the natural world to realign you. The ocean does not resist change. It flows. Let its persistence remind you of your own adaptability. These practices will elevate your energy and position you above the chaos that often accompanies growth. Your suffering was never wasted. Your isolation was never meaningless. Through it all, your spiritual gifts have been sharpened. What was once a faint whisper of intuition is now a clear voice of inner wisdom. What was once occasional insight is now a steady knowing. Your divine connection has deepened, and because of this, you are drawing toward you exactly what aligns with your highest purpose. And yes, divine forces are assisting you. Those perfectly timed coincidences, those resources that appear exactly when needed, those doors that open unexpectedly, these are not accidents. The boundary between the seen and unseen realms is thinning around you, allowing supernatural support to manifest in tangible ways. These gifts are not random. They are being activated for a purpose, but not everyone will understand them. Some will try to rationalize away what they cannot comprehend. Others will attempt to control what they do not have the ability to create. Guard your gifts. Nurture them in sacred silence until they are strong enough to withstand scrutiny. Not everyone deserves access to your unfolding transformation. Your deepening spiritual awareness is a sacred journey between you and God. It does not require external validation. This journey has been longer than you anticipated. The nights have been darker than you thought possible. The opposition has been fiercer than you were prepared for. And yet, here you are, still breathing, still believing, still rising. Trust in divine timing, even when it feels excruciatingly slow. The universe is not delaying your blessings. It is ensuring you have the capacity to receive and sustain them. What seems like waiting is actually preparation. What feels like hesitation is actually divine precision. Perseverance is not just enduring hardship. It is enduring with expectation. It is not merely surviving the day. It is making every moment meaningful. This steadfast faith, this refusal to give up even when everything seems against you, is what separates those who fulfill their destiny from those who merely exist. Through it all, take care of yourself. Sacred purpose requires sacred rest. Just as you are called to greatness, you are also called to moments of stillness. Prayer is not just a practice. It is a sanctuary. When words fail, when strength falters, when direction is unclear, prayer will steady you. It may not change circumstances immediately, but it will change you. Everything that was hidden in the shadows is coming into the light. The tears you cried are turning into triumph. What felt like abandonment was actually divine positioning. The silence of those who should have spoken up no longer matters. You have found your own voice. This is your moment, not just for recognition, but for divine confirmation. The fire that was meant to destroy you has only illuminated your path forward. The opposition that was supposed to break you has only revealed your true strength. Rise now, not with arrogance, but with certainty, not with vengeance, but with vision, not with bitterness, but with boldness. Your story is not just for you. It is for those still struggling, still searching for hope. Your victory is not just personal. It is a testimony. What God has done for you, He can do for others. You have journeyed from darkness to light, from pain to power, from wounded to warrior. This is your story. This is your testimony. And this is only the beginning.